shaken yet standing firm. This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listener participation program.
Talk today.
What's on your mind, Cayman? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Cayman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your guest host.
Good afternoon and welcome to Talk Today. I am your guest host, Orrett Connor, and I want to say I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Right here on Talk Today, you never know what subject we will be talking about, but we do have set days where there are certain departments that we cater to right here on Talk Today. So we will be talking to the representatives of one of those as soon as we return. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. Talk Today. We'll be back shortly.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
Talk Today is also brought to you by Mike's Builders. Call 923-0706. Mike Builders. They make it happen. Talk Today is reminding you
to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990. 949-8037 or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
And now, back to Talk Today.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. I'm your guest host, Orrett Connor, and we have in the studio with us Miss Anne-Marie Diaz, who is the program coordinator from the Family Resource Center, Department of Counseling Services. I believe that we had a string of appearances on the show and conversations when we were doing the month of March.
That's right.
Honoring Women Month. And those were certainly very instructive, and there were so many events taking place as well. And we know that we have a commitment, an agreement for you or someone from your department to be on, the first and last?
The first and last Thursday of each month.
Of each month.
Yes, sir.
Each month, yes. So I want to say to you, again, welcome back to Talk Today, and tell us about honoring Women's Month and some of the successes, and let's update everyone in terms of what has happened before we get into other discussions. I think that would be nice.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, Mr. OC, and thank you to Radio Cayman to agreeing to having us come on the first and final Thursday of every month. We really appreciate having that dedicated spot, just to update our people on what's going on, because as you know, we are quite a busy agency. And in March, we really appreciated coming on and having various women within our community, whether they were entrepreneurs or speaking from the lens of gender affairs. And it was another successful campaign. We run several public awareness campaigns throughout the year. We start off in March with Honoring Women Month. And we'll have several we're looking forward to. We're planning Stood Up, which is our anti-bullying, bullying prevention campaign, which we host in October. in partnership with the schools. And a lot of the schools do a fantastic job really taking on the banner and doing their own initiatives, which we appreciate. We want campaigns to really be owned by the community, not by us. And that's when we know things have become a movement. And then we'll have International Men's Day in November. And yeah, so we always like to engage our community in different ways, whether we're coming on the radio to speak to you, sir, or another member of your great staff, or various events like our 5K. We're always doing, we're doing the Color Me Purple every year. That was another great success, and even more walkers and runners came out again. And I've had the pleasure of designing the shirt for 2 years, so that's been quite fun to have my creative skills come out in that way. But today, and I, of course, go with your flow, I'd like us to focus on the SNAP camp, which is coming up. We're going to be hosting that yet again. This has become an annual camp of ours where we focus on children between ages 6 to 11 years that are maybe having behavioral or emotional issues, and those are coming out at school or at home. And so this is a fun way to really expose children, boys and girls, between the ages of 6 and 11 to skills that fall under SNAP. So we are an affiliate of CDI, Child Development Institute in Canada, that offers SNAP. SNAP was brought here many, many years ago through several persons' involvement, one of which is Michael Miles. And so we've been really happy to see it delivered in a multitude of ways. It's quite a multifaceted program because it's a clinical program of 13 weeks. We also go into the schools and deliver it to select classrooms in the government schools. And it is also a 2-week camp. We started out as just a 1-week camp, and we're now very fortunate to be offering it as a 2-week. So between July 8th to 18th. We do have a few spots remaining, hence why I'm here to talk about it. There is a small commitment fee of $100 that covers the entire camp. And so we are fortunate to have government and private sponsorships that cover the shirts, the water bottles, the field trips, the transport, snacks and lunch are provided. Of course, if there's dietary needs and parents want to pack their children their own lunch, you're more than welcome. But we essentially provide everything we can in a safe environment that fosters learning, self-regulation skills, and encouraging children to become confident in managing various impulses and improving their social interactions with their peers and with authority figures. And have a lot of fun while doing it. So we go to a lot of fun places, including the movies, and we bring guest speakers too and do arts and crafts and various things on site. We've gone to pickleball. So we'll do a lot of fun things and a lot of fun activities too.
Okay, so what if someone is unable to afford the $100? It's not a whole lot, but then there may be some families who are already, seeking an assistance, so they may find it financially challenging. Yeah,
of course. We do our best to keep that as low as possible. If there are issues, of course, we'll talk with the parents and get an understanding of what's going on. We do find that if we're overly generous, let me say, in waiving it. Sometimes people don't follow through, and so we're actually considering it more of a commitment fee. So we could always drop it, but we might not necessarily waive it completely, just to encourage that commitment from parents to follow through, because there's a lot of planning and human resource that goes into it. And if a child fails to show, that essentially takes a spot away from another child. So it's somewhat of a commitment fee, really. But I appreciate that not all families could afford something like that. Absolutely, we understand that. So we'll have a conversation with parents. But we've extended the deadline till tomorrow. Okay. We're already looking at June 6th. And so this is kind of that last attempt to just encourage those who haven't already applied to go ahead and do so. If you're not entirely sure if this is a camp suitable for your child, actually go ahead and look at the registration form, because it actually takes you through some points to consider before you apply. And so once you've read that and it sounds as if this is something that could be suitable for your child, you go ahead and you apply for it. We then screen you. So just a few more questions to ask and a few more bits of paper to sign in terms of like field trip waivers and things like that. And then we let you know as soon as possible, because I know a lot of parents, that's what we're all doing right now. We're trying to figure out summer and what that's going to look like. So you definitely don't want to go past the deadline, which is tomorrow. But outside of campers, we're actually also interested in taking on even more volunteers. So if you are a college or university student, you're coming home for the summer and you're looking for practical hands-on experience, and you have, leadership qualities, you also possess good self-regulation yourself, and this is an area of interest, whether it's education or social services or psychology, this actually does provide a great wealth of experience. Although it's just 2 weeks, you're with the children all day, 8 to 3. You're also planning with a team. So those team building skills, the communication, all of that is essential for a camp to be successful. That's something that we would offer, of course. And then there's also those that are maybe just leaving year 11 to year 13 that are maybe interested and not so sure if they want to go into this field, or they just want a bit more exposure. This is something for them too. And we've even had peer mentors as young as 10 come on and volunteer their time. And again, these are young people that possess good self-regulation, problem-solving skills. So they're modeling that for the campers and supporting the staff in those efforts to essentially show the children that this is possible. I can be like my buddy, my peer mentor. I can make good choices too. And so that's something that's a very important philosophy for the camp and for our agency. And so that's something that's available too for those who are school leavers or university students.
Okay, we're going to take a break and go to a commercial. When we return, the conversation with Miss Anne-Marie Diaz about the SNAP camp that is taking place. If you want to know more about it, she will give you the information. But we're also going to try to pass on as much information as we possibly can to our listeners and our viewers as well. And just simply by listening or watching, you may arrive at a decision, a positive one, in terms of your child attending this camp as well. So don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. Talk today. We'll be back shortly.
Cruise into summer with expert service from Automotive Art Cayman. More than a retail store, it's your one-stop auto care shop. We offer paint, detailing, accessories, wheels, Yamaha parts and products, batteries, tire repairs, tire changes, and more. Need top-tier shine and protection? Grab Gliptone detailing gear, Chevron synthetic oil, and Axiom car care kits. Get expert service with premium products all under one roof. Wherever you cruise, make your pit stop at Automotive Art first. Find us on Shedden Road and follow us at Auto Art KY on Instagram and Automotive Art Cayman on Facebook.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Hungry? Need Subway any time of the day?
Yeah.
We've got you covered. Subway at Anderson Square, Centennial Towers, and Countryside Shopping Village is open 24/7, serving up fresh, delicious subs anytime you need them. And for your weekend cravings, West Shore Center is also open 24 hours on Friday nights and until 1 a.m. on Saturdays, because it's never too late for a great meal. Skip the line and order ahead with the Subway Cayman Islands app, or get your favorites delivered straight to your door with Bento and Let's Eat. Fresh, fast, and always here when you need us. Subway. Eat fresh.
This summer, choose from 10 international destinations for your vacation with Cayman Airways. Explore New York, discover Denver, roam Los Angeles, play in Tampa, shop in Miami, tour Panama, uncover Havana, hike in La Ceiba, jam in Kingston, or relax in Montego Bay. Connecting flights are also available from the sister islands. Cayman Airways offers more international non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline, and the lowest rates for checked bags. Book today at CaymanAirways.com, download our new mobile app, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
We were on the edge of a breakthrough. I knew the substance was extraterrestrial, but I didn't realize.
Aunt Angie, what does this have to do with managing my insurance?
Well, long story long, the entire lab exploded, and the radioactive sludge went everywhere. I ended up in the hospital for a few weeks, but I was able to manage everything with the CG Online portal.
The online portal. Safe, convenient, simple. CG Britgay. Good like that.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. I'm your host, Orrett Connor, and it is my pleasure to have in the studio with me from the Family Resource Center, Miss Anne-Marie Diaz. We're talking about the SNAP camp that has taken place, and if you're curious and you don't know what the SNAP stands for, it is now Stop Now and Plan. Stop Now and Plan.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's talk some more, about the camp itself, the dates. Any advice that you would give to volunteers in terms of signing up, whether or not there's any lead time that is required, and of course, the camp dates that the dates that it will occur as well. We know that you've extended the registration period for an additional day until tomorrow. So let's talk about all of those interesting things.
Yes. So thank you, Mr. OC. So SNAP, SNAP stands for Stop Now and Plan. It is all dedicated to teaching children to understand their emotions, so increase their emotional awareness, problem solve, make better decisions in the heat of the moment through the various strategies that SNAP teaches. But through the process of a camp, it's a lot of fun. Also, there's lots of opportunities to role play and to actually coach children in the heat of the moment how to handle difficult situations with their peers right then and there. And all our team are trained in the SNAP strategy. And we also have opportunities for volunteers to join us also that feel that they can contribute something to this camp, but also get something out of it too, if they are students or eager students of education, psychology, or social service. But of course, there is a screening process. So if this is something you're interested in, we would still require things like a police clearance to make sure that you complete darkness to light training in time, and also have a good understanding of the SNAP strategy before you go in. So you'd have to be available about a week before camp actually proceeds, about a half day, to make sure that you understand the strategy. But we are there as the staff to support you as you go. And of course, for the safety of the children and for yourself, you're never left alone at any point. So you're always with someone who is able to support any situation that might occur. So for parents who are thinking about this, what I would suggest is going onto our website, frc.gov.ky, and finding the registration there, or you can go onto our social media page and find access there. We're also very easily available at frc@gov.ky, or you can give us a call on 949-0006 for any questions. But essentially, if you've been a parent of a 6 to 11-year-old girl or boy, and you have found yourself getting called quite a bit from the principal, or you find, teachers maybe using terms like hard to focus, getting into problems with their peers, those sorts of things. If you're noticing that feedback, or you yourself at home are finding the behaviors of your child difficult to manage and you would like some support, you maybe even have your child on a waiting list to be assessed. Those sort of things, if those are things that are occurring, this is a potential camp that could be really helpful for your child. There's a lot that happens in 2 weeks. And my team and I, we were talking about it. This was a few years back. And in terms of the hours that the child receives, although it's just 2 weeks from July 8th to 18th, 8 to 3, that's non-stop exposure to the SNAP strategy, which is all about emotion regulation. And so essentially that child or those groups of children are going through the equivalent of a clinical program, which our clinical program is about 2 hours, 13 weeks. That's with the parents and in a concurrent group, the children. So the campers are essentially going through their own clinical program with how much content and delivery and support and coaching that they get in those 2 weeks. And this used to be narrowly a free camp, but we have upped the price to $100 because it is 2 weeks. It used to be a week.
That's almost
long.
makes it free still,
It,
right?
it
Really,
almost
when you think
is.
of it, yeah.
It's definitely the cheapest on island because it's not $100 a week. It's $100 for the 2 weeks, and you don't, that covers everything, inclusive of also what we get in terms of private sponsorship and support, and of course government sponsorship. So the food, the lunch, the snacks, the water bottle, the clothes on their back, they also get a bag to have everything in. So we provide everything we think that your children would need. We keep them safe, we keep them learning, we keep them encouraged and empowered, and we hear a lot of parents report back at the end that it's the best experience that their child has had.
And how many can you accommodate? How many can be accommodated?
We've gone up to about 30 to 35, I think was the maximum we've ever taken. So we typically have about 4 groups of 7 to 8. But again, we try to pay attention to who we have in terms of volunteers and team. And make sure that ratio is a good one. And we have some campers who are actually a part of the clinical program right now going into the camp. And so that right there takes up some space. But there are a few spaces available. And we encourage parents, if this is something that you think could benefit your child, you want less calls from school, those types of things. And you yourself want to learn a bit more about the strategy too, because that's a big part of it too. We make sure that parents understand what children are learning. They're given some tips along the way too, to how to encourage these behaviors and reinforce these positive behaviors at home.
And this camp will help to complement any other intervention that may be taking place in the child's life as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And actually, we use it because it takes place in July. We use it as a good way to potentially get participants for our SNAP program that we host in September.
Okay.
And we're aiming to host 2 groups simultaneously. That's something we started doing as of last year because we can as a team. And there's definitely a need for it. Our young people, need the support in how to manage big emotions and make better decisions in the heat of the moment, stay out of trouble, essentially. So it is a preventative program. And so what we tend to do is we pay attention to camp and the families who would be interested in the full clinical program in September. And offer them a space. And that is completely free, of course. Everything that all our services, all our programs are free outside of this camp.
Okay. Let's see if what we need to repeat. Can we repeat the dates? The dates of the camp.
Yep. So SNAP, which stands for Stop Now and Plan, will be between July 8th to 18th, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. with a pick-up and drop-off time also, giving parents a little bit of time before and after camp. $100 commitment fee. The registration deadline we have extended to tomorrow, so we encourage persons who are hearing to just, if this sounds like your child and something they could benefit from, go ahead and proceed with at least reviewing the registration, because the registration itself will help you determine if this is the right camp for your child. But if your child is 6 to 11 years old, girl or boy, and you notice that they could have utilize some support in learning how to manage their emotions and solve problems or keep problems as small as possible, this might be the best camp for them. And we are offering opportunities to volunteers, so school leavers that are in grades 11 to 13 or are at university and want to get that hands-on experience because they're studying psychology or education or social work. Yep. We've been really fortunate to have some fantastic volunteers, some who were training to be teachers, some training to be social workers. And so we've been really blessed over the years to have some phenomenal young people support us. And we want to keep exposing opportunities to young people. And of course, there's that police clearance, darkness to light, and further training that would be expected. But if this sounds like you, or if you're a parent thinking of your child and this sounds like them, you can email frc@gov.ky and we will give you more information.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break, and when we return, the conversation will continue with Miss Anne-Marie Diaz from the Family Resource Center. She is the program coordinator for the Family Resource Center as well. So all of those beautiful and useful programs that you hear being offered, she's the coordinator of those as well. So when we return from the commercial break, we will have a final wrap-up. You'll probably repeat what was said before, but we need to ensure that we hammer it home. Sure. You have one more day for registration. So if you're just hearing it today, you've been saved by the bell. You still have an opportunity to register by tomorrow as well. So please stay tuned. Talk Today. We'll be back shortly.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. My pleasure to have again in the studio with me this afternoon Miss Anne-Marie Diaz, who's the program coordinator at the Family Resource Center. We're talking about the SNAP camp. SNAP stands for Stop Now and Plan. Their camp will take place from the 8th to the 18th of July, open to from ages 6 to 11 years old, male or female. The camp will run from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. as well. And I believe, Miss Anne-Marie, how long have you said that the camp has been going now?
Yeah, so this is our seventh year running this camp. And we've improved it over the years. I remember actually the first year we started was the first year I started with the agency.
Okay.
And it was my first real program that I was joining or being a part of. And it was such a great introduction into the agency because, it's a lot of fun. The children themselves, they're coming to learn skills to benefit them as they go to school and just throughout life. It's essential to have emotion regulation and problem solving skills. But it's a lot of fun too. They engage in arts and craft. We take them on field trips. And so, we have a lot of fun and make memories with children for the summer, which is what summer is all about for kids, right? So it's a great camp. It's 2 weeks long. Used to be a lot shorter, and so we're really happy that it's continues to be extended. 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. is the time.
And the drop off, where are they dropped off?
So we're awaiting confirmation for that, but it will be central. We've been at the Marie Martin Primary School for the last few years, so we're hoping to get that secured again. I'll announce that out here live.
On. Yes, yeah. still have time. It's still a month away. So.
Yes, but it tends to happen because schools are very focused on those final exams and things like that. But we've been very fortunate to keep camp centralized, so it keeps it easy for most parents who are working in this area. And there's opportunities for volunteers too that want to be exposed to learning more practical experiences as students that are studying teaching or psychology. And we've been very fortunate to have great young people, and some of whom have even become staff. And so it's been great to see that progression in them and to see, because we've had a few that have been with us for a few years now.
So your department also participates in the government summer internship program.
Yes, yep. We have two that have come to us through that, and a third one that we've taken on separately. And so they will definitely get exposed to the camp in terms of helping us plan for it too, deliver it. And then there's always that wrap-up piece, making sure that those final pieces are tidied up with a bow, and that we're constantly communicating with parents too in terms of their feedback, how they find it from beginning to end. That's very important. And we're blessed to have constant throughout the 7 years or 6, this will be the 7th, great feedback from parents who find it to be one of the best camps that their children have been to. So that's always great feedback for us to hear, and something that we are eager to maintain, of course. Yeah. And so tomorrow is the deadline for registration. We do have a few spots available. We typically aim to have about 30 campers between the ages of 6 to 11. Boys and girls are welcome, especially those young persons who are struggling to self-regulate, maybe getting themselves into trouble at school. We certainly don't judge. All our coaches come with compassion and empathy and common respect. And so we're here to support children to learn essential skills for life.
Right.
And, of course, give volunteers and young people who want to go into this field also, or interested in going into this field, an opportunity to learn more. Yeah.
Excellent. We still have about 8 minutes left to go, as well.
Yeah.
Anything else that you want to mention?
Well, I know we've been focused on our camp. That's really our main focus over the summer. But we, Monday to Friday throughout the year, we are offering individual parent support. So we'll meet with parents on an individualized basis, come up with goals to support them with maybe children who are going through some of the issues that I've been talking about today when it comes to the camp. And then we have several different parenting programs too that we offer throughout the year. And I'm really pleased that we've been successful with our parenting teen program. We've had a small intimate group of parents who are raising teenagers.
Okay.
But we partnered with Alex Panton Foundation, who simultaneously was offering Teen Talk to some of their children who are or adolescents or about to be teens. And so they're learning skills and feeling supported simultaneously while parents are learning those skills to take on what can be quite a challenging developmental stage, you might remember. And so that's really great that that's been successful. And I'm eager that September to December time we can roll that out again as another partnership. And we also were successful in launching Pathways, which is a brand new program which focuses and supports parents that are going through aggression or struggles with anger and find that they're falling into common parenting traps.
Absolutely.
And so we've been lucky to launch that and have parents that are benefiting from that too. So there's lots going on at our little agency. Our tiny but mighty team are always working and always ready and willing to support parents through any issue that they might be going through.
And seeing positive results from your efforts as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, it's a pleasure to do what we do. We're happy that we're offering the SNAP Camp again for the 7th year. And we're also planning for our Stood Up, which is our anti-bullying prevention campaign, which will be in October. So there's lots happening simultaneously. And so thank you for having me.
Okay.
I always appreciate being here.
Certainly. Before you go, let's repeat some dates. We know the dateline is tomorrow. Just a very quick overview again of what the SNAP Camp is all about, what the goals are, who it is geared towards as well.
Sure. So just as a final say, SNAP, which stands for Stop Now and Plan, Summer Camp. This is the 7th one we are offering. It'll start July 8th to 18th between 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. There is a commitment fee of $100, but everything else is covered, including lunch, snacks, shirt, uniform, everything. And it's designed for children between 6 to 11, both male and female, who are struggling to manage certain emotions or to problem solve in the heat of the moment, and would benefit from skills to make their problems smaller, keep issues small, self-regulate, and take these skills with them into their home life and into eventually going back into school life. So there's lots of opportunities to role play and real life scenarios where we're coaching children through difficult periods right there on camp. So we do see children, their confidence is boosted, their socialization is boosted, and that these are essential skills that we all need. And so it's great that we get to offer that to children at such a young age, 6 to 11. If you're not so sure if this is something that's right for you or your child, you can go ahead and email frc@gov.ky or go straight to our website, frc.gov.ky, and review the registration. It gives some clarity there. And it doesn't hurt to just complete it, because then we'll respond to you also with further information. We'll do just a brief screening with you and your child, and then you'll hear from us well before time.
Okay. Now, to your knowledge and your involvement for the 7 years, is there any other camp in the Cayman Islands that has a similar focus, or
I would say
is it unique?
It is unique in a sense, but there are great private practices like Chatterbox. I know does quite a good job in offering. I actually noticed before coming in here that they were offering something catered to the adolescent group, which is great because I know that age group can be difficult. We don't see lots happening in the summer for that age group. So that was something I saw Chatterbox was offering. The Wellness Center is always offering something that supports children in an emotional or behavioral way. Okay. So, yeah, we are certainly blessed with a lot of private practices that offer services, but to the sense that this is something that's government that is essentially, very low cost and very beneficial. And it is, we are an affiliate of the Child Development Institute that offers SNAP, and it is something that we have to show that we are maintaining fidelity in the program we're offering. So parents are assured they're getting something that's quality, that's evidence-based, that's research-based, and low cost. Yeah. So it is incredible what the government offers and that we are capable of offering something like this. So, yes, so there are others, of course, but if you're looking for something that's specifically for this age group, and at a low cost, I think this is something that's your best bet. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm sure after 7 years that you won't have any difficulty, filling your quota in terms of the numbers that you want to have as well. You have one more day to register if you want to as well. And again, I want to thank you and your colleagues for all that you do.
Thank you, Mr.
for the people of the Cayman Islands, and look forward to hosting you first and last Thursday of each month as well. Folks, we're going to go to our 1 o'clock news. When we return, the conversation will continue. I'm not sure whether or not we will have an open line for you or whether or not we have other guests in the studio, but we will have something for you. So don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. Talk Today. We'll be back shortly.
If they are talking about us,
living in your head rent-free all this time,
we must be relevant. Radio Cayman since 1976. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
Police are appealing to the public as they work to find missing local journalist Andrell Harris. The 34-year-old was last seen on Tuesday night near Pedro Castle Road in Boddentown around 9:30 p.m. If you have seen Andrell or know his whereabouts, please call 911 or the Boddentown Police Station at 947-2220. You can find a reference photo online at radiocayman.gov.ky. In international headlines, the European Central Bank cut its benchmark interest rate for an 8th time, aiming to support businesses and consumers with more affordable borrowing, as U.S. President Donald Trump's trade war threatens to slow already tepid growth. The bank's rate-setting council cut interest rates by 1/4 point today at the bank's skyscraper headquarters in Frankfurt. Analysts expected a cut, given the gloomier outlook for growth since Trump announced a slew of new tariffs on April 2nd and subsequently threatened to impose a crushing 50% tariff or import tax on European goods. Eager customers joined long lines outside stores from Tokyo to New York City hours before they opened in hopes of snaring a long-awaited Nintendo Switch 2 video game console. The much-anticipated Switch 2 being released around the world today is an upgrade to its 8-year-old predecessor, with new social features that are meant to draw players into online gaming. Nintendo is counting on the Switch 2 to boost sagging sales. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Captain Maybury Salisbury Kirkconnell, OBE JP, 1931 to 2002. Captain Maybury's career in public service began as a young man when he received medical treatment and would spend his school holidays assisting the local doctor on Cayman Brac. He was one of the pioneers of Cayman Brac Power and Light Company, Faith Hospital, and Kirkconnell Community Care Centre. He was a deacon at his church and often served as lay pastor, an opportunity he cherished. He was also a master mariner. Captain Maybury was elected to the Legislative Assembly in 1980 and served for 20 years. In 1996, he was elected Speaker, the second person to hold the post, and the first sitting MLA to be elected to the position. He did not seek re-election in 2000, but later accepted the legislators' unanimous call to return for another term as Speaker. He retired in 2001. Captain Maybury treasured his years in public service and lived by his motto, country before self. Although he and his wife, Marilyn Nee Parchman, had no children, they raised a grandniece, Otelia McKeever Scott, and Captain Maybury helped several Brac young people to obtain a higher education. Captain Maybury, Salisbury, Kirkconnell.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your Sister Islands.
Discover all that our Sister Islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. I'm your guest host, Orrett Connor. We have no guests in the studio. I first of all want to say that register my concern, the concern of Radio Cayman staff as well in relation to the police report of missing person, Mr. Andriel Harris, on the 4th of June. And I'm going to read the police bulletin that was sent out because it is important for us to continue to do this. If anyone has any information or has been in contact, please follow the instructions that are given by the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service. So the police are seeking the assistance of the public to locate Mr. Andriel Harris, age 34, of Pedro Castle Road, Borden Town, of Hearst Road, 34 Hearst Road, Borden Town, who was reported missing today, or yesterday, Wednesday the 4th of June. Mr. Harris did not attend work that morning. On that, the bulletin says this morning, which would have been Wednesday. He was last seen in the area of Pedro Castle Road, Bordentown, at approximately 9:30 p.m. on Tuesday, the 3rd of June. So that would have been 2 days ago. Mr. Harris was last seen wearing a dark blue shirt with sleeves rolled up and black pants. He's approximately 5'9" tall and of slim build, with dark brown complexion, has long dreadlocks, neatly kept, and they have also provided an image or photograph of Mr. Harris as well. The release also goes on to say, so far the police have carried out ground and aerial searches and coastal searches in the Pedro Castle Road area in search of Mr. Harris. Police continue to make further checks based on information available at this time. They're requesting that anyone who has seen Mr. Harris or who may know of his whereabouts, you should call 911 or the Bordentown Police Station at 947-2220 as well. So that is extremely, extremely important. We hope that and pray that Mr. Harris is located, is found safe and sound as well. And we will continue to air this bulletin and what the police has put out there. We will continue to do so as well. Meanwhile, what else? What we can talk about, the Cayman Islands government forming partnerships with Cayman Cayman Cycling. That is extremely important as well. Do we have a caller? Okay. I'm getting some background feedback from something. Okay. All right. So I'll share this article with you. The National Road Safety Committee, NRSC, that they met earlier last month to advance efforts to reduce traffic collisions and enhance road safety across the Cayman Islands. So this meeting, it was chaired by Mr. Eric Bush, who's the Chief Officer in the Ministry of Planning, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure. They welcomed key stakeholders, including representatives from Cayman Cycling. The central focus of the meeting was the discussion on cycling safety following the tragic death of a Cayman Cycling member on the 21st of April, 2025, on Easter Monday. The National Road Safety Council extended their condolences and reaffirmed their commitment to improving road conditions for all users. I think that there's more to this article as well. And as soon as it comes up on the screen, as soon as it's loaded up, it has redirected me to someplace else. But we will find all of that article as well. But it is good to know. It is all unfortunate, however, to know that we have to take a reactive rather than a proactive approach to this. Of course, the proactive approach to some extent has been taken because we see the construction of new roads, or even when existing roads are being redesigned, that they are being redesigned with pedestrian and bike users in mind. So hence what was started years ago continues now as far as having bike lanes. One, you may have heard the former minister, Mr. Arden McLean, mention that one of his regrets when constructing roads was that maybe the lanes were not wide enough. And I think I made reference to the fact that we see on the Estella Tibbetts Highway, the most recent roads that are built in that area, where the lanes are much wider because they are designed to accommodate not only cyclists but also walkers as well. So you actually have 2 lanes in many areas on that particular roadway as well, which makes it so much safer for everyone. But it is good to see that this is taking place. I still believe that and wonder, really question, wonder how we can go about more driver education programs without having people having to revert back to being retested. How can we make drivers more aware of what they need to do, what they can do to make our roads safer for cyclists as well? I'll give an example. 3 of us on Tuesday morning at about 10 minutes to 4. Now, folks, there's not a whole lot of traffic on the road at that point in time. We're riding on Shamrock Road. We had flashing rear lights. We had headlights on. Some of us had light on our helmet as well. And after you cross the turn by Mr. Otto Watler's house heading west, a Honda Fit, a silver Honda Fit. First we could hear them honking the horn behind us. Folks, remember now, this is at between 4:45 and 10 minutes to 4 in the morning. So, and we're riding on the side of the road as close as we can to the verge. We heard the horn honking behind. Now, normally, when you're on a bicycle and you hear a horn blasting behind you, one of 2 things. Either the driver knows you and they're greeting you, and I'll say to that, normally if I see a cyclist that I know on a roadway, if there are 2 lanes and I'm in the extreme lane and they're in the other lane, then I may toot my horn to acknowledge them. If it's only 1 lane, I will wait until I have crossed them and maybe toot my horn to say hi. Reason for that is if I blow my horn my vehicle horn behind them, It may startle them. Another indication of someone blowing their horn means an impatient driver who does not want to share the road, who does not believe that cyclists and even pedestrians deserve to use the roads like they do. So what did that driver of that silver, I believe it may have been a Honda Fit, a vehicle the size of a Honda Fit, what did that driver do at between 3:45 and 10 minutes to 4 in the morning, where there's very little traffic on the road? He or she decided to buzz us. What do I mean by buzz? Is to come as close as possible to us when there is nothing, no vehicle, nothing coming from the opposite direction, and that driver could have used as much space as they wanted to cross us, but they decided to buzz us instead. That, and like I said, I'm going to repeat it one more time. We're talking about between 3:45 and 10 minutes to 4 in the morning. What that tells me is that that's an inconsiderate, crazy driver who has no respect for other road users. And if that type of if that's the way that they demonstrate their sanity on our roads, then we're in for trouble. That's the type of driver that you do not need on our roads. We don't need emotional drivers. We don't need drivers who believe that the road is solely and exclusively for them, even at 3:45 in the morning when there's little traffic on the roads, and certainly when there's no other vehicle coming in the other direction, opposite direction, that prevents you from going wide enough as not to startle cyclists or walkers on our roads as well. That's the type of mentality that we have on our roads, folks, and I don't have the answer as to how we go about combating that. I will say this much, though. I will say this much, and this may sound cruel. This may sound cruel. But if such a driver happens for whatever reason further down the road to unfortunately get involved in an accident, and if it's a singular accident, I may think twice. Well, after they have buzzed me on the road on my bicycle, I may think twice before stopping to see whether or not anything is wrong with them. That may sound callous, that may sound cold, but that's simply the way I feel. I do believe we have a caller. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Connor.
Good afternoon, ma'am. How are you?
Oh, I'm grateful. I'm actually getting ready to go to an appointment, but when I heard your voice and what you were touching on, I just wanted to have my 5 cents worth interjected.
Sure. Go right ahead.
On the point where you were talking about, educating the drivers without them having to go back to resit tests and so on. Let me just say, Mr. Connor, I don't know what year you got a Cayman Islands driver's license, but I know that when I went and I got mine, at that time, my father was a deputy commissioner, okay?
Okay.
And Mr. Dowse, people might remember Mr. Dowse, was the inspector that took me out. I had just recovered from surgery, and obviously I was nervous. And when we were on the road, Mr. Dowse pointed out to me in a very stern tone, because there was a cyclist ahead of me, and I guess he saw what I was about to do, and he pointed out to me that I must remember that cyclists and pedestrians always have the right of way.
Mm-hmm.
They own that lane. And if you want to overtake them, you have to treat it as if it's a vehicle. So I don't know what the inspectors do nowadays. I don't know what the instructors are teaching nowadays. But to my knowledge, that law did not change. And to touch on what you were saying about honking your horns at drivers, I agree with you. I wouldn't do that because you could scare the person, you know, and cause them to have an accident all on their own. And as you say, if it's someone you recognize, you know, there are other ways that you can let them know, oh, I know that's you, you know, sort of thing.
Right.
Unless you're coming in opposite directions, so you can sort of give lights or something like that. But you have to be mindful that if the traffic is behind you, they have no idea why you're honking the horn.
Yep.
And if I were you, I would have stopped. I would have gotten that license plate, and I would have taken that to the police and find out who it was, because you can report things after the fact as long as you have the evidence. And it might have been a drunk driver going home at that hour of the morning, and you all holding them up.
There was no way that we could pick up the license plate because it was dark. Now we do. Some of us, I have a rear facing camera. I don't have one in the front, and but sometimes we were able to pick up the license plate and report it as well. In this particular case, unfortunately, unable to.
Okay, but to go back to the original question about how to educate them, maybe you may want to ask, you know, if what I just said, has that law changed? Because if that law did not change, then there's no more laws you can put in there, except to have them enforced and to make sure that, you know, when the inspectors take people out, if they're not already obeying the road laws, you fail them automatically. Send them back to a driving instructor. And if they're going to driving instructors and you're taking them out on the road and they're already breaking the laws, then you need to have a word with that driving instructor. I think it has to start at the original sin. So, and if it means having them resit both tests, then I say let's do that.
Yep.
Because that may save a lot of lives.
Yep, that is so true. That is so true. But you know, the quality of driving in the Cayman Islands has deteriorated so much that it is unbelievable. You would expect that with improved roads and improved road conditions that it would get better. It has gotten worse.
Mr. Connor, I hate to tell you, sir, that you're missing the point. The quality of the roads don't have anything to do with it. Unfortunately, it's the quality of the drivers that we have on the road. And once upon a time, we knew who our drivers were. But now that we are so overpopulated and saturated, we don't know who's on the road. Some of the people that have come here, I don't know how they pass these driving tests. They can't speak English, so I don't know how they can pass a written test in English. And then they're out on the road and they pass the driving test. I mean, I have sat and watched people driving a Honda Fit struggling to park in a parking space that is obstructed parking with space on two sides. Okay?
Yep.
And they're holding up everyone trying to park. How did that person get a driver's license? Huh?
So true. So true.
So we need to go back to the drawing board on this. That's not very hard to do. First of all, I've been saying that no one should be able to go and make an appointment to go and do a driving test. I mean the actual test, not the written test, unless they have had a certain amount of hours on the road with a reputable driving instructor. And if that instructor is producing students that inspectors are having problems with, maybe they should sort of suspend them for a while until they get their act together. Because most of us either learn to drive from our parents or older siblings. And remember, we picked up whatever habits we saw them doing. So now we have driving instructors. And if they're still not doing the right thing, it begs the question, how qualified are they?
Yep. And speaking of those instructors, it should be a qualified driving instructor as well. I'm not sure, what the qualifications are, what process, what procedures driving instructors have to go through in Cayman to become a qualified driving instructor.
I don't know either, and I'm really not condemning, driving instructors, because like I said, some people are learning to drive from other people, not driving instructors.
Yeah.
I know that once upon a time, and I don't know if this is still in place, that even if I taught you to drive, when it was time for you to go and get your appointment to do your road test, you had to have a certain amount of hours in with a driving instructor. And then that driving instructor had to write a report saying that they were confident that you were ready for the road. Now, I don't know whether that is still in place or not. But if it is, if they have lifted that, or if it has not been lifted, what I would like to say is that changes and that you have to be taught to drive by a driving instructor. Not by a relative, not by a friend, not by yourself, by a driving instructor who understands these roads, who understands that every time there's a change in the road or an addition or whatever it may be, this is how it is done. How you get on and off a roundabout, who has the right of way, and so on. Otherwise, we're going to continue to have catastrophes. And I am always panicked when I see pedestrians and cyclists on the road because nobody has respect for them. They think that they're holding up traffic and that they don't have to wait their turn to overtake or for the cyclist to turn off or pull off to give them way, and it is sad.
Okay, caller, thank you very much. We have to go to a commercial break now. Folks, please stay tuned. Talk Today. We'll be back shortly.
This summer, choose from 10 international destinations for your vacation with Cayman Airways. Explore New York, discover Denver, roam Los Angeles, play in Tampa, shop in Miami, tour Panama, uncover Havana, hike in La Ceiba, jam in Kingston, or relax in Montego Bay. Connecting flights are also available from the sister islands. Cayman Airways offers more international non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline, and the lowest rates for checked bags. Book today at CaymanAirways.com, download our new mobile app, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
The 24th Annual Talent Exposition of the Arts, Joy, is here. Presented by the New Self-Help Foundation, Sunday, June 29th at the Hawkwheel Theatre. Awesome performances by actress Caitlin Tyson, Erica Asai, Rico Rolando, Jade Dixon, Williams Quartet, Dequan Smith, UCCI Dance Company, Cayman Music School, Radiance Dance Studio, Centerpoint Dance Studio, John Gray Elite Strings, Lloyd Barker, Ola Jimmy LaPierre, and more. Tickets cost $15 $15 CI prepaid and $20 at the gate. And available from the #1 shoe shop and Winner's Circle Sports. Talent Exposition of the Arts, Joy. Hosted by Anika Connolly and Lloyd Barker. June 29th at the Hartwell Theatre. Gates open at 5 p.m. Show starts at 6 p.m. Part proceeds from this event to benefit the Foundation Educational Development Training Program of the Arts.
The Cayman Turtle Center's Turtle Crawl 5K is back, Sunday, June 8th, starting from the Cayman Turtle Center at 6:30 a.m. Registration is $25 CI and includes a race shirt and a goodie bag. All funds raised will support conservation of green sea turtles in the Cayman Islands. Corporate discounts are available by emailing info@turtle.ky. Register now for the Turtle Crawl 5K at turtlecrawl.ky. Proudly sponsored by Stingray Media, Double M Distribution, Health City, and Gatorade.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. I am your guest host, Orrett Connor, and prior to going to the commercial break and having a caller as well, I shared the contents of a release about the National Road Safety Council forming a partnership with Cayman Cycling to make our roads safer as well. And then I also related an incident that took place on Tuesday morning on Shamrock Road, the turn after you cross Mr. Otto Watler's house, heading west, and being buzzed by a vehicle at 3:45 in the morning. So one of our listeners has said that these inconsiderate drivers, that's the reason why they chose to ride their bike in an off-road community loop rather than on our roads. And that certainly, is a wise choice as well, certainly reducing the risks. This other person wrote and said, "Good afternoon. It is really sad, the type of drivers on our roads for sure. There needs to be more education on how to drive, and the driving and written test probably needs to be revamped. Also, I'm going to recommend that they should put points in place, and also that when someone loses their license, then they should have to retake the written and driving test before getting it back." They go on to say, "I'm shocked at the article about the man that was killed in a hit and run that states he may receive only 18 months. How does doing community service and his job override him taking a life and breaking our traffic laws?" Yeah, I believe that was one of the recommendations that was being made by the person's attorney, something about house arrest because of some medical condition. It'll be interesting to see. I think is it the 20th of this month when the decision will be made by the judge. It'll be interesting to see what that decision is. And I guess depending on this decision, it may serve to reignite the debate that has taken place about whether or not we have a two-tiered or judicial system where whether or not we have one type of justice for Caymanians and one type of justice for expatriate visitors or residents on our island as well. So it'll be interesting to see the results of that. I know of cases where persons may be suffering from medical conditions, but judges have determined that the services that are available either within or outside of His Majesty's Prison Northward are sufficient, and that illness should not be a mitigating factor in determining whether or not the person should be incarcerated. It also seems as if when a person commits a vehicular offense while operating the vehicle, while driving the vehicle under the influence, that it appears as if the justice system, the law, looks at it as if the person is drunk. I believe in this particular case, the person didn't stop when the accident occurred. Eventually, when they stopped, their female occupant of the car got out screaming and went back to the point of impact, but the driver didn't do so. I think it was reported that the driver then went home and went to bed and was arrested something like about 5 o'clock in the morning afterwards. But it seems as if the view is that if you were so drunk that you didn't know what you were doing, then there's a different view. I don't know if it's from a legal standpoint or what, that is taken as opposed to someone who deliberately ran someone over. So you and I'm using this term loosely because it isn't really the fact. You get an out of jail ticket or out of jail card if you were drunk, as opposed to if you weren't drunk. You know, I may have gotten that wrong, but it seems that way. I believe we may have a caller on the WhatsApp call, Miss Susan. If we do, let's take the caller. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Orrett Connor.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Okay, and you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. Well, on Bobo FM this morning, they were speaking about mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a few people who are suffering from mental health who were calling in.
Mm-hmm.
It got really emotional. Even the talk show host, the lady there was getting really emotional. And a lot of people on Facebook were showing their emotions by writing in on Facebook.
Okay, yeah.
And the people that were calling in were letting us know how terrible it is. And that the treatment that they're getting in Cayman for their depression, most of them were saying that it doesn't help as much as people think it does. And also the medication that they're getting for it helps for a while, but then again, after a while, the medication seems to not to be working, and then they have to be put on a new medication. So I was listening to it this morning, and I remember in 1994 my earthly father was sick with cancer. One lung was totally cancerated. Half of the other one was cancerated. And the doctor took us into the family room and told us that my father had less than 3 months left to live. This was in 1994. My first son was just born, my first child, Caleb. I named him after my earthly father. And I went home and I looked in the Bible for healing. And I found the scripture for healing. And it said, get 3 elders from the church, anoint the sick person with oil, pray with the sick person, let the sick person pray and repent and confess their sins and ask for forgiveness, and they shall be healed. So I got 3 elders from the church. I got my grandfather, Ackerman, Brother John, Chef John. I got Pastor Case, and we went to the hospital to intensive care. And as we were about to pray for my earthly father, a gentleman was crossing who worked in the police force with my earthly father when he was a police. And he said, Mr. Buddy, I didn't know you were in here. And my dad said, yeah, I'm sick bad, man. They're getting ready to pray for me. And the man said, well, Mr. Buddy, I just got saved a couple of months ago too. I want to join you all in prayer. So we all joined in prayer, anointed my father with oil. We prayed. My father prayed and asked for forgiveness of his sins. And asked Jesus and God to heal him. And in about 3 days, my earthly father came out of the hospital. And he lived for 11 years and 8 months.
Wow. That's good.
He even went back to work at Foster's. So I'm saying this to let people know, when it seems that doctors or anything else doesn't help you with whatever your situation is in life, whether it's a sickness, a disease, or troubles or problems, once you obey what Jesus Christ and Almighty God asks you to do by being saved and baptized, there is nothing that they're not able to do for you when it comes to healing you, or solving any problems in your life. And that's a promise. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller, for that. That's a very, very strong testimonial there as well. We're going to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. Talk Today. We'll be back shortly.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
This summer, choose from 10 international destinations for your vacation with Cayman Airways. Explore New York, discover Denver, roam Los Angeles, play in Tampa, shop in Miami, tour Panama, uncover Havana, hike in La Ceiba, jam in Kingston, or relax in Montego Bay. Connecting flights are also available from the sister islands. Cayman Airways offers more international non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline, and the lowest rates for checked bags. Book today at CaymanAirways.com, download our new mobile app, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drporterkman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
We are now in the hurricane season, and to survive a hurricane, you need to be informed. If you have been informed by official sources that a hurricane is approaching the Cayman Islands, and you live in a low-lying area that is prone to flooding or near the beaches, which may be swept by high tides or storm waves, please seek a safe place and high ground. If the only way for you to get to a safe place is a road that is also likely to be flooded during a storm, please leave home early. Don't run the risk of being stranded. This has been a public service announcement from your community station, Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. No guests in the studio. Our phone lines are open. Our toll-free number 1-800-534-8255. Also 949-8037, 949-6990. WhatsApp number 925-3261. So I'm seeing an article here on Cayman News Service's website. I am looking to see whether or not there was a similar release that may have been put out by CBC. It has to do with CBC investigating the possible illegal migrant landing. So I will share that with you while I look to see whether or not any press release had been issued in that regard. So far, I'm not seeing any for yesterday. So let's share the article with you. Again, if true, it shows you how vulnerable we are at our borders. You know, when you're an island and completely surrounded by water. I remember those days when I say, when you were in school, what is an island? An island is a piece of land surrounded by water. Yes, folks, that's what we are. And which means that it is much more difficult, very difficult for us to protect our borders as well. So it goes to show you, the challenges that we're facing. So Cayman News Services say that the Cayman Islands Customs and Border Control Service, that they are investigating a report made on Friday, that would have been last Friday, of a migrant vessel in the Prospect area of Grand Cayman. They point out that officials are asking people to come forward if they have seen the boat or the people on board. They also reminded the public that it is an offense to assist people in landing or remaining in the Cayman Islands illegally. Doing so is in contravention of the Customs and Border Control Act 2024 revision and is a crime punishable by a fine of up to CI $50,000 or to a term of imprisonment of up to 7 years or both. Haven't seen anything in relation to it since then, so whether or not the veracity of that report has been verified, whether or not anything has been seen. If it's a migrant vessel, usually if it's migrants who are seeking to get to another jurisdiction, the boat, the vessel that they have arrived on is usually found. Doesn't appear as if that is the case. So whether or not it was a local vessel or a foreign vessel, again, no information. Curious to know what has happened since then. This was reported to have occurred last week, Friday, almost a week away as well. I think we have a caller on the WhatsApp number, Miss Susan, as well. You want to check that caller? We're going to grab the WhatsApp caller. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm getting an echo. You may want to turn your radio off, please. We're getting an echo from you.
I'm a listener. I'm a frequent listener to your program.
Thank you very much.
The one just spoke today just thrilled my body. When I heard him said the doctor diagnosed him, his father, with cancer and give him the time to die.
Mm-hmm.
And when he searched the Bible and searched for healing, and he go and he gets 3 persons along with the policeman, and he prayed and asked his father to surrender his life, and his father lived 11 years and some months after. This is a testimony.
Yep, it certainly is a very strong one too.
It is a testimony. You know, and I believe that if most of us have hold on to that, then depression is real, and we are living in a time where things are getting hard, but we have to examine ourselves and face the fact and identify our situation. But without God in the vessel, how can he smile at the storm?
Yep, that is so true. So true.
And the faith that this young man had, oh my God, this was what had helped him to heal the father. Because he didn't have to do that. He could have walked away and said the doctor gave him over. But he believed that the God he served is a God of miracle, a God of healer. And when you hear I call your talk show today, sir, I feel the presence of God. And it is God. And I hope for somebody who is listening and hear this young man speak can be touched by the feelings of their infirmities today.
Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
Continue to do your work, sir, and may God bless you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for listening, and thank you for the faith that you have and the faith that you display as well. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. This person. So in response to what I said earlier about the drink driving or driving under the influence and the 18 months of house arrest that was suggested by this person's attorney, this person has written back and said, I guess that is why drunk driving is so prevalent on our island, because it seems to be leniency on the part of a person who killed someone while driving drunk. Well, we also know that consideration is being given to making driving under the influence, rather than it being a traffic offense, that it becomes a felony and it goes then on your criminal record. Not killing someone, but driving under the influence. And that, folks, may be a good thing as well. That may be, a good thing. Because then if it is considered to be a felony, it is if you are a Caymanian or a permanent resident here, or have the right to reside here in the Cayman Islands, then that could reflect on any police clearance certificate that you may require for travel to other jurisdictions, or let's say to get a visa, U.S. visa. We know in Canada, it is an offense. Driving under the influence, it's a felony. So here in Cayman, it could affect Caymanians, and it could possibly affect work permit holders as well, because that is something that the boards or the administrators could take into consideration when considering a grant or a renewal of a work permit as well. So we know that is something that is being looked at. Again, there is no silver bullet approach to bad driving, reckless driving, driving under the influence. There has to be a multi-pronged approach to it. So let one of those prongs be that it becomes then a criminal offense. You've committed a crime, but if you're caught driving under the influence. Food for thought, and something that should be seriously considered as well. We have a caller, but we have to go to our headline news first, folks. Please stay tuned. Talk today. We'll be back shortly.
Information, entertainment, inspiration.
Covering Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac.
Since 1976 till now.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
Premier the Honourable Andre E. Banks met with British Virgin Islands State Minister for Trade, Investment and Economic Development, the Honourable Lorna Smith, and her delegation this week at the Government Administration Building. Minister Smith and her team were in Cayman to hold meetings with government officials in areas such as commerce, tourism, trade and development, customs and border control. In international headlines, U.S. President Donald Trump has enacted an immediate travel ban on individuals from 12 countries, including Haiti, from entering the U.S. The sweeping measure has ignited a firestorm of condemnation from Haitian American legislators and Caribbean immigration advocates. The Bahamas government is moving forward with a significant salary increase for public servants. Prime Minister Philip Davis announced that civil servants will see bigger paychecks at the end of the month, marking the second phase of a comprehensive salary review. The next phase is expected to bring adjustments of 2 to 8% for the remainder of the public service. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Subway and Oreo has changed the dessert game. Introducing the Oreo footlong cookie, a full 12 inches of chocolatey, creamy goodness. It's big, it's bold, and it's here for a limited time. Perfect for sharing or not. We won't judge. Want it fast? Order ahead with the Subway Cayman Islands app for quick pickup and earn loyalty points, or get it delivered straight to your door with Bento and Let's Eat. Don't wait. Treat yourself today. The Oreo footlong cookie is calling your name. Subway. Eat fresh. Snack sweet.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. We have a caller. We'll take that call in a second. I just want to share some things that came in before. Cayman, I want you to remind you that if you're feeling overwhelmed, sad, stressed out, or suicidal and need support, they have a mental health helpline. That number is 1-800-534-6463 that you can call Mondays through Fridays from 6 p.m. until 11 p.m. There's free and confidential support and guidance on your emotional and psychological health. So that is K-Mind, their mental health helpline, 1-800-534-6463. Also, in relation to missing person Andrell Harris, there is a search and rescue underway. Police are seeking the assistance of the public to locate Mr. Harris. Persons who wish to assist are asked to call 945-4624, and they are cautioning that no photos or video will be allowed whilst you're assisting with the search as well. So that was put out by the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, 12:30 p.m., 5th of June, 2025. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Sir, how are you?
I'm not bad, ma'am. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. First of all, I'd like to say congrats to the new government on all of the brave, courageous moves, I would say, that are being made, even in these first few weeks, and particularly in regards to immigration reform. It's really good to see that finally we have someone or a group who's able to say we have to take this stand regardless of, So that was the first thing. And the reason I really wanted to preface it with that is because I want to talk about an article that was in the paper about the green light being given to the new beach bars, Royal Palms and Coral Beach site. It's in today's Compass. I'm not sure. I haven't been listening to the show this morning or now, so someone may have brought it up already.
I think it was in the news. Yeah, we broadcast it on the news.
It's definitely on the Cayman Compass News. It might have been on Radio Cayman News. What I'm saying, if I'm beating up something that you've already had a...
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, the point and the only thing that I'm really looking at in that story, it says, in the approval, there's a seawall. A seawall. No, I mean, that just can't be so. That cannot be so. Because, see, people like you and me and from our age group, or, anywhere around there, we know what a beautiful beach the Royal Palms had.
Mm-hmm.
And it had that up until, I would say, about 15 years ago when they did what? What did they do that changed the Royal Palms Beach? They built a seawall. And the seawall that was put in is what destroyed that beach, just as the one at the Marriott destroyed the Marriott and everything coming down that area, the first one having been built by Marnie Turner on her own personal land right next to Laguna, and where that ugly hotel that she got the approval for, St. Marnie Turner, the one there at the four-way lights across from the gas station, look out.
Mm-hmm. That's almost in the middle of the road.
5 feet off of a busy road.
Uh-huh.
Should have never been approved. It sat there for ages, and it should have been demolished while it was like that. Anyway, that's where the whole seawall conundrum started, right there. And I really believe that particular landowner should be held accountable and responsible for the mass devastation that has been caused on 7 Mile Beach. But I'm just hoping, praying, appealing. I put a post up and I did tag the minister on it and the premier and those, because no seawall must go back by the Royal Palms. Handel can rebuild it because it's Handel Whitaker, they said, that's put in the plans and stuff. And everything else, I would say, sounds good. A covered bar and a big open deck and a service hut and plenty of bathrooms. All of that is good. But there must be no seawall. Doesn't matter what they say the setback is. The setback could be as far in as Cayman Bay. There must be no seawall. And some of the seawalls in the area, particularly the one by Mr. Dart's house, they need to be demolished, excavated, pulled up. They are what is destroying the jewel, the one really outstanding feature, our beach. I just looked at a picture of that beach in 1982 when my daughter was 2 years old, a picture with her and her father on that beach. You could look from, and this is 82, 40, 43 years ago. The beach was pristine. It was beautiful. No seawalls were there. And it doesn't matter how many people get on after me and preach about tides coming and going and ebbing and flowing and bringing and taking away. Well, it wasn't happening all the while. When there were no sea walls, the beaches didn't change drastically like this. And I'm not asking anybody. I have lived for 79 years on the face of this earth. And I don't take kindly to people who have just arrived and are telling us, oh, it'll come back. It'll come back. It's not coming back. You look and see if the beach is coming back. But anyway, my original thought, or the reason why I called, is to protest and to ask other Caymanians to protest any seawall being approved for this new Royal Palms development. It must be fought tooth and nail. There should be none, and we should also demand that others along that stretch be taken down, demolished, done away with. They are destroying our beautiful, pristine beach, particularly that piece by Dart's residence that extends out into the sea. But when the tides come in and that is underwater, I just march myself up there and have a good time in his gazebo, because at that point, when the water takes it back, it belongs to us again. And I'll tell you this, I've done it on many occasions, and no security guard has ever dared come and tell me I needed to move. Because at that time, I'm in our water, on our property, in our country.
So true, so true.
There's so many other things, OC, that I would like to say, but, the moneyed investors, they get what they want. And I'm not speaking about people who came to Cayman in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and even up until the 80s. I worked with some of the greatest people that have ever, some of the greatest human beings that have ever set foot. And they're still in Cayman, still contributing.
Mm-hmm.
When I think of people like Bruce Campbell, Ian Paget Brown, Chris Johnson, who are still giving back to this community and who helped so many people. They didn't talk about what they did, so you don't know how many people they helped become lawyers by funding their education. You don't know how many houses were rebuilt or built for helpers from West Bay because of the kindness of some of these people. We had wonderful people come here, but a new set started coming, particularly since Ivan. It is since, it would seem to me, well, at least in this new millennium, but I would think, the way I see it, this really big destruction started around the time of Ivan, when we let in so many people.
Mm-hmm,
and we didn't even vet the people that were coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Caymanians historically, we've always been timid. We've been kind and actually naive because we think that everybody's like us. We approach people, foreign people that we've never seen in our life, don't know anything about, but we're automatically going to assume that they're kind, beautiful people like we are. And in many cases, that could be the case. But we have unknowingly or knowingly harbored some of the biggest criminals, some of the most heartless investors, by being kind and naive.
Mm-hmm,
when our government went to the negotiating table with, and you know who the biggest hard hitter is, and I'll never forget, it was during McKeever Bush's time. Who did McKeever Bush take in as his chief negotiator? He took Elio Solomon, who was a rookie legislator. And nothing against Elio, not at all. But you couldn't put a youngster like that up against these seasoned people who have dealt on the world stage and have literally wiped out other governments, eradicated whole entire populations. You can't send somebody like that to negotiate. You know what we got? As a result, we got the inland part of Barcus. We got none of the beach. People do not understand what the Barcus Reserve Area is. That is a section inland of Barcus, the wetland.
Mm.
Every scrap of beach land in Barcus is privately owned, the majority of it by the DART group, the DART conglomerate. We were promised, in return for something, we were going to get Victoria House Beach property, which was beautiful. But guess what? That is still fenced off, no trespassing. It does not belong to us. We sat down and let the Westin take what was one of the few drivable beach accesses, the one between the Westin and the Governors, and they now use it for their personal parking place, for their containers. We can't use it. The Ritz, even worse, one of the other, there were only 3 drivable beach accesses left along 7 Mile Beach. And the one by the Ritz, where you could go in there and park, and people park sensibly. You could do about 12 cars parallel parked on one side. And what is that now? That is no trespassing. It is the fire lane for the Ritz. How did they get that? Did they buy it? Did they just take it by quiet possession? How did they get that?
Yep.
The only one that's left now is between Christopher Columbus and the Anchorage. And people use that one very responsibly. It's about a 30-foot driveway, and I will see the cars parked there on the weekend, about 12 going from the road out to the sea, very carefully parked, parallel parked against one side. But that's the only one that's left.
Caller, thank you very much. We have to go to our last commercial break, but you certainly are on to everything, and you so eloquently describe what is happening and expressing your views as well. We need many, many more like you as well. Folks, we're going to take our last commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
This summer, choose from 10 international destinations for your vacation with Cayman Airways. Explore New York, discover Denver, roam Los Angeles, play in Tampa, shop in Miami, tour Panama, uncover Havana, hike in La Ceiba, jam in Kingston, or relax in Montego Bay. Connecting flights are also available from the sister islands. Cayman Airways offers more international non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline, and the lowest rates for checked bags. Book today at CaymanAirways.com, download our new mobile app, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin are the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome to Talk Today. We have about 10 minutes left in the show. So one of our listeners has written and said, in relation to my comment about the making driving under the influence felony. Person says, or asks the question really, the country just voted to decriminalize marijuana, a position that seemed to be supported by all, if not most of the candidates that ran in the April 2025 election. Do you think they will support making DUI a criminal offense? That's a rhetorical question, folks. And if you have an opinion on that, do you believe that those same legislators who took the position or seem to have taken the position to support the decriminalization of marijuana, do you think that they would support making driving under the influence a criminal offense? Then the writer goes on to say the same young people that are affected by our marijuana conviction will be affected by a DUI conviction also. Point well taken. Point well taken. Do we have any callers on hold? No callers on hold, I believe. I see other WhatsApp messages as well. Just make sure that I check all of them. Again, I want to share with you the fact that there is a search and rescue operation underway, Pedro Castle Road area, at 12:30 today. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service announced that they're seeking the assistance of the public to locate Mr. Andrell Harris, who was reported missing on June 4th, 2025. Those persons who wish to assist are asked to call 945-4624. They're pointing out, reminding you that no photos or video will be allowed while you are assisting with the search as well. So the whole idea is for you to assist with the search, not to become a reporter or to seek to sensationalize anything at all. They simply want you to assist with the search. So if you genuinely want to do that, then you can call this number 945-4624 so that you can get further guidance in terms of how you can assist as well. This person has written in and said that the last caller certainly hit the nail on the head. They agree with her. Person says that they often wonder why the government is willing to spend money on all other things, but what they should, like hiring qualified lawyers to help them negotiate big deals with private entities. Excellent point. You know, you don't take a pocket knife to a gunfight. That may be a terrible analogy that I'm using, but you don't take a pocket knife to a gunfight. You know, you don't. You know, you have to make sure that there is equality of arms when you're in the judicial system, when you're dealing with that, equality of arms. So if someone has a QC, you may want to get one, as well. That is extremely, extremely important also. Let's make sure that we haven't missed anything. We still have about 7 minutes left to go in the show this afternoon. What else can we tell you about? I see here where this is an interesting story. I'm not sure whether or not our Royal Cayman Islands Police Service may have been involved in this, but there was an article here about the Commissioner of Police of Bermuda assuming the role of head of police organization in the Caribbean. The Bermudan Commissioner of Police, who's a native Bermudan, was appointed the head of. I'm not able to read the whole article, and why? The reason why I can't read the whole article is because you have to, after you have logged on to the Royal Gazette after a few times, they want you to subscribe. And if you don't subscribe, you only get about 3 or 4 views for the month, and you have to wait until the next month. Sometimes what I do is use a different device, and I'm able to access it again. So do you believe that our legislators would support making DUI a criminal offense, a felony, like Canada has done as well? Canadians have done it, and fortunate for them, if a Canadian has that conviction on their police clearance certificate and they apply for a work permit in the Cayman Islands, can't use that against them because it's not a felony It's not a criminal offense here in the Cayman Islands. So the administrators at work, the Business Staffing Plan Board, the Work Permit Board, the Cayman Status and Permanent Residence Board, they can't take that into consideration per se because it's not an offense here in the Cayman Islands as well. And while that person has pointed out to me that, I'll read it again just to be fair, says that the same young people who are affected by a marijuana conviction will be affected by a DUI conviction as well, and that is true. But the older persons will also be affected by it as well. So let's see now. By extrapolation, if we don't want our young people to be stigmatized by having a conviction for possession of small amounts of marijuana. So we decriminalize it. And we don't criminalize driving under the influence because we don't want them to have that either. Well, let's put it this way. At some point in time, this is my view on it. At some point in time, those youngsters, to a certain extent, have to take responsibility for their own actions as well, and they have to act responsibly, especially when they know what the consequences of not doing so may be as well. And yes, I do understand that their brains are not fully developed, at that point in time as well. But what we cannot do is we cannot continue to make excuses for them. We have to do like what was done in the past, way back. We try to lead them down the correct pathway. What is the phrase now? Teach a child something. I would have to Google that very quickly. But yes, we have to stop making excuses for our youngsters at some point in time and take a different approach as to how we're going to treat them, how we're going to bring them up. Okay, what it says, teach a child the way he should go, and still looking for it. Train up a child on the way he should go, even when he is old, he will not depart from it. Train up a child in the way he should go, even when he is old, he should not depart from it. So we have to train them up, not make excuses for them. That's a part of it too. Yes, I understand the fact that, some youngsters have been prevented from doing certain things, achieving certain things that they want to achieve because of past misdeeds. But what we don't want to do with that, we don't want to make that the rule rather than the exception. It should be the other way around, right? So we don't want to make it the rule that we try to ensure that we find excuses and we find ways out for them. Train up a child in the way he should go, and even when he is old, he will not depart from it. I am sure that many of you concur with that verse and agree with it and you have seen it work as well. So, folks, it has been a very good afternoon. I want to thank you for joining me this afternoon, for being a part of the conversation. Those of you who are willing and you want to assist the Royal Cayman Islands in their search for Mr. Andrew Harris, please call 945-4624 if you want to assist. Don't go out there on your own to do so, because when you're assisting through the police, you will be following their instructions, and not doing things on your own, and as well the possibility of contaminating any scene, or in any way hampering the possibility of locating Mr. Harris or any evidence that may be out there as well. So again, if you want to assist, please call 945-4624. Remember that no photos or videos will be allowed whilst assisting with the search. So there will be no photographing and no videoing when you're assisting as well. Folks, enjoy the rest of your day. Please stay safe. And remember that all of us are vulnerable in some way or the other. No man is an island, and we want to get the support, or to give the support that we possibly can as well. I'm trying to find the Cayman one also. Did you send that to me as well, Miss Susan? Okay, but I saw it somewhere, the Cayman one. Let's see if I can find it before we go off the. Unable to find. CAYMIND, in the event that you have any challenges that you may need any assistance, you can contact them as well. Still trying to find that particular one that was shared. Cayman, come on, OC, come on. We will find it. If not, I will ask you to join me tomorrow morning at 7:30 for the record. We will certainly update you, and we will give you any additional information that we possibly can in relation to this whole. Yes, Cayman, the number is 1-800-534-6463. I'll repeat that again. If you need any assistance, want someone to talk to, Cayman, 1-800-534-6463 for you to call as well. Folks, enjoy the rest of your day, and please stay safe. And if you need help, talk to someone. Or if you're in a position to help someone, please do so as well.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
Talk Today is also brought to you by Mike's Builders. Call 923-0706. Mike Builders. They make it happen.
shaken yet standing firm.
I was not built to break.